I'm looking at this balloon when all of a sudden a little face floats up to the surface. Oh my goodness, there's a baby in there.
A pregnant woman comes to the hospital because she's not feeling well. During the examination, the doctor is startled to discover a purple, fleshy protrusion between the woman's legs, shaped like a balloon. It's something the doctor has never seen before, and she's unsure how to assess the situation. Suddenly, the pregnant woman feels an intense urge to push, like she needs to have a bowel movement, and she can't control it. As she bears down, that purple, fluid-filled sac drops right out onto the stretcher.
What happened?
Okay, just a minute. I'm working on it.
The doctor suddenly realizes this is the amniotic sac from inside the mother's body. A tiny face appears on the surface of the sac.
What is that?
Baby?
Confirming there's actually a baby inside. The doctor takes a scalpel and carefully cuts open the amniotic sac. Fluid comes gushing out. The baby's skin is almost transparent, and there's no movement at all. It appears to show no signs of life. She urgently needs an infant suction device, but the assistant brings an adult suction catheter instead. It's completely unusable on an infant, and the rescue effort hits a dead end. The pregnant woman's vital signs aren't looking good either. She keeps moaning in pain. It seems there's still another unborn baby inside her. The lives of both mother and babies hang by a thread. The doctor is facing the most critical challenge of her entire career.
What is that on your hand?
Watch out, kid. That's very hot. Something happened.
Because it's cold and soothing. Coming off.
Families who have dealt with this kind of thing already know. Cold water and sail and dough, almost nothing. Then suddenly one thought flashed through the doctor's mind. Oil breaks down oil. Tar is oil-based, so they needed something oil-based to slowly loosen it up. The first thing he thought of was petroleum jelly. After they put it on, that outer layer of Terali did start to change. But those little packets of petroleum jelly in urgent care were nowhere near enough for a whole hand. And that layer of tar was still getting harder. So the doctor kept thinking what else was oil-based and came in a large enough amount. Then the next second, an even crazier answer hit him: mayonnaise. And he immediately told the assistanto go to the burger place next door and bring back 2 huge tubs. The second it got there, the boy pushed his whole hand in. At first, he jerked back, but pretty quickly, that layer of tar that had been wrapped so tightly around the hand started softening little by little. And when they started picking at it again, it was already coming off in chunks. That was when everyone finally felt like they could breathe. They kept soaking it, they kept scraping, and little by little more skin started showing. At that point, the doctor could finally see that even though there was already clear burn damage underneath. This hand should be salvageable, so everybody watching, do you have a better method?
You gave her tapeworms?
It wasn't a worm.
She had pooped all these tapeworms.
A teenage girl had a stomach so swollen it looked unreal. At first glance, it looked like she was months pregnant. That was the nurse's first thought too. But the second she asked about it, the girl's mother blew up. She kept insisting there was no way, then started complaining the hospital was moving too slowly. All she wanted was medicine and to leave. But the girl was already hurting so badly she could barely stand straight. They did a urine test, then an ultrasound still. They could not see clearly, so the doctor had to keep going. Then the CT came back. Her abdominally was packed with something. Packed so badly it was almost shocking. In the end, the doctor could only treat it first like severe constipation. They got ready for an enema, then laxatives. But not long after the medication went in, the girl suddenly clutched her stomach and ran into the bathroom.
My God.
The next second, a scream came out from inside. No matter how hard they knocked, she would not open it. By the time they finally got the door open, her hand was shaking as she pointed at the toilet. The people standing by the bed looked down and froze in the spot, because what had been filling her stomach was not a baby, and it was not constipation either. Can you guess what it was?
I come around the corner and bam, I smash into something.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe he's legit.
George is an extremely dangerous prisoner. He'd been lying motionless on the bed for 5 hours straight. The police suspected he was faking unconsciousness, and 3 officers kept a constant watch on him. Escape was practically impossible. The doctor began examining George. On the surface, his vital signs seemed completely normal.
I examined him for any signs of trauma, but I don't see it.
His pupils also reacted normally, which ruled out a brain hemorrhage or drug overdose. To confirm whether he was only pretending, the doctor did a sternal rub rub test. The pain from rubbing the breastbone would make anyone who's conscious scream out, but George didn't react at all. That strongly suggested he was truly unconscious. The doctor grew worried about what was really wrong with him. Maybe he wasn't faking it after all. To make sure and prepare for a CT scan, the doctor convinced the police to remove George's handcuffs and leg restraints. A few minutes later, the CT technician rushed out in a panic, calling for police backup because George had woken up suddenly.
As soon as I took off his last handcuff so we could put him in the scanner, he came to